the Israelites people began to forget about God. They began to worship idols. Once they stopped worshiping the Lord, bad things began to happen. The enemies, the Philistines, began to hurt them and make fun of them. The people asked God to save them. God listened to them and decided that the new judge would not be like the other judges. He would not lead any army. The new judge would be strong and mighty. He would be stronger than any Philistines. The new judge would be a hero that the Philistines would be afraid of. A good woman who was married to an Israelite man named Manoah was all by herself one day. She was thinking, I wish I had children. I have prayed and prayed to God, but He still hasn't given me a baby. An angel of the Lord came to talk to her. I know you have waited for a long time to have a baby. God has heard your prayers, and you will soon have a son. A baby? The lady was so excited she ran to tell her husband. Manoah said, That's wonderful. God is good. But I hope the angel comes back and tells us how to raise the child. The angel did and told them their son would be special. Manoah and his wife were to keep a special promise. This promise was called the Nazarite vow. They must promise that the baby was to never ever cut his hair or touch a dead body or drink any alcohol. Even Manoah's wife could not do these things when she was pregnant with the baby. They must never break the promise. When their son was born, Manoah and his wife called him Samson. They taught Samson that he must always keep the Nazarite vow, the promise. He must never cut his hair or drink alcohol. Samson grew up to be a strong man. Once he killed a lion with his bare hands. Israel was very proud of Samson because they knew that the Lord gave him the strength. Many days later, Samson saw the skeleton of the lion that he had killed. He noticed that bees had built a hive in the bones. Samson took some of the honeycomb and ate it. It was delicious. He even gave some to his parents to eat, and they liked it too. Samson was strong, but he often got into trouble because he wanted his own way. He decided he wanted to marry a Philistine girl, even though she did not believe in God. At his wedding feast, he told a riddle to his guests. Out of the eater came something to eat. Out of the strong came something sweet. No one could guess the answer to the riddle. Samson's new wife wanted her friends to know the answer, so she cried and begged Samson to tell her. Samson finally told her, and she told her friends the answer. The next day, Samson stood up in front of everyone and said, Out of the eater came something to eat. Out of the strong came something sweet. This time his wise friends told Samson the answer. What is sweeter than honey? What is stronger than a lion? The Philistines had tricked Samson. The strength of the Lord came to him, and he killed 30 Philistines. Later, he caught 300 foxes. He tied pairs of foxes together by their tails and then lit the tails on fire. He let the foxes go into the grain fields and vineyards of the Philistines. All of the fields caught on fire, and the crops were destroyed. The Philistines killed Samson's wife and then tried to capture him. Samson saw an old bone from the jaw of a dead donkey. He was so strong that he was able to kill 1,000 Philistines with it. Another time, the Philistines tried to capture Samson again by trapping him inside a city. They shut the city gates with him inside, and the strength of the Lord came to Samson again, and he just picked up the gates and carried them away to the top of the hill. Even though Samson was not always good, the Lord gave him strength. The Lord wanted the Philistines to know that the Israelites were His people. He wanted them to know that God is strong and He can give strength to His people. Samson kept his promise. He never cut his hair or drank any alcohol.